everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to create an event planning project using FastAPI and MongoDB. But first in this video, I'm going to walk you through how we connect our backend to MongoDB and how we register a new user in our database. We're going to take it step by step, so even if you are a beginner, you understand everything. I've created a folder and open it in PyCharm. So first, let's start with our environment variables. Let's create a file. Okay. First, we need to create the address of our MongoDB. So it is let's do and the port. Right. And we need to create the database name. So it is okay. Okay, great. So we stored it inside a .env file so we don't export sensitive information in our code. Alright, so now we're going to make a connection to the database. So I'm doing it inside a config file, but first I'm gonna create a core folder. Inside of it, I'm gonna create the config file. Okay. Maybe. Okay, first we need to read from that .env file that we created. So we're using load.env. Okay. This one is taking the yes, exactly, the .env file we created. Okay. We need to import this. And then we're going to hang, yes, the Meng URL, but we're gonna give it a default value as well. Yeah, that's one. And the database name, yes, exactly. That's not like this. Yes. So if it's not found, you didn't found the environment variable inside the .env, it's gonna use the default value that we created here. Now let's create a connection. I'm gonna create a client. Yes. User sync. Yes, that's it. And yes. So this is create a client and select the database. Now we're going to create a function to check if MongoDB is working. For the function is sync if we're gonna try on the connection string. Which is equal to gonna await to the connection string and server info, and that's it. And that worked. Then return true. So we're gonna make an except. Gonna be exception. Return false. Okay, this function is gonna help us to check if our backend successfully connected to the MongoDB. So to check that, we need to create the main. Okay. And make the app called yes. Exactly. This is the home page. No, we're not doing this. Inside the home, we need to check the connection if it's working. Connection. Okay, connected equal. We're gonna wait to the function that we created earlier. Check connection. Let's open this one. So just let's import it from core think import checklist. Yes, now it's working. So if connected, return connected, else connection error. So now we need to test it. To test it, we need to install UVcorn. So let's install it if you didn't install it. Right? UVcorn. Okay, I've already installed it, but I wanted to do this with you. Now let's check the connection. UVcorn in Alright, just take this and open Postman, right? Create a request. Yeah, our database is connected. Now we can start working on the logic of the registration. Creating the user model. To do that, we need to create a folder for models. Start of it, create user model, right? I'm gonna use space. Okay. Okay, so MongoDB uses underscore ID by default. So we alias the underscore ID to ID. And before validator, it ensures that the object ID becomes a string before the validation. Okay, the user also is gonna have a username, right? And it is string, of course. Also, yes, email and password. Okay, this password is hashed. So we're gonna store in our database a hashed password. I'm gonna create the class config. Populate my name. True. This is okay. Populated by name is allows access by the field name ID when the database returns underscore ID, and the JSON encoders when serializing to JSON object ID will be converted to string. But here we store hashed password, but the user is gonna enter plain text. So we are going to create a request for registration so that the user enters the plain text and we convert it to hashed and store it in database. So we need to make it a directory for the requests. Okay. Side of it, we're gonna make a user request. Alright. First, we need to make a class for user register request. Base model. We're gonna have username, email, and password. But this password here is gonna be a plain text. Alright, now we can create the repository. Okay, here. We need to use the user, okay, user collection, which is equal to dp of users. This gives us the collection object to run queries against. Okay, first we need to create a user. So we're gonna make sing. No, it's not gonna take user. It's gonna take user data. This starts. Okay, so the result, we're gonna use the collection of the user and insert inside it the user data that is a user is going to enter. And it's gonna return a result with the inserted ID. Now need to return the new user. Yes, exactly. So now we fetch the inserted document so we can have the database generated ID. And finally we return the new user. So now I return the user. Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay. We need to add it. So from model. Now it's working. This to convert the raw document into our user model to get typed access and serialization. We also need to create find user by email to make sure that the email is unique and it's not being used by another account, so we can check it when we are creating the registration. So sing f no, find user I email this. Okay. So we're gonna take the email. I'm gonna search for it. Let's check the result. Return. Else return none. Alright, so before making our services, we need to handle hashing the password to use it in the service. So inside of the core, I'm gonna create a security file. So if someone hacked our database and steal the user's table, they should not be able to read the real passwords. Storing plain text password is extremely dangerous. That's why we hash them, and we're going to use a modern algorithm called Arrogant2. No, not this one. Great. Crypt context let us define which hashing algorithm our application will use. So let's define this. Yeah, with the context equals context. We're gonna use arrogant 2 arrogant, right? Yes. Okay, the deprecated auto means that if we ever add another algorithm later, FastLib can automatically upgrade old hashed to the new format. Okay, let's create the hash password function. So def hash password. I'm gonna take password and string. Yeah. And only gonna return the hashed password. So let's call it like this. Let's create another function to check the password. We're gonna use this function in login later, so let's just create it now. Alright, check password. It's gonna return, yes, verify password. Okay, now it's gonna take the password, which is the plain text, and also the hashed password. Alright, gonna compare it. Now we can create our service. Create 3 services. Okay, side of it, need to create the user service. The registration, register, okay, user. It's gonna take username string, right? Email and password. Let's check if the email is already used or not. So existing user equal wait find user by email. I'm gonna give it the email. So if existing user return error, user already exists. Yes. And we're gonna try on creating the user. So first we need to hash the password. So hashed pass equal hash password. I'm gonna give it the password. And the user data equal username exactly, and email and password is gonna take the hashed password. So we store the hashed password, not the raw password that the user entered. And now the new user gonna wait. Okay, create user that we've made. I'm gonna take the user data. And then return the new user. We're gonna make an exception if something happened during the creating the user. We need to log the error so we can debug it. Yes, import. Okay, and return error. Yes. No. Failed to register user. Yes. And yeah, finally we can create the route. Route user route. No, it's gonna be auth route. We're gonna make the router first. Yes. Take a prefix. Let's post but not login. First, we're gonna make registers. Let's make the registration. Okay. I'm gonna take a request of user register request. It's not here. We need to add it. Okay, from requests user request. We're gonna import the user registration requests. Yes, now it's working. New user. It's gonna wait register user. Okay, we need to import the service as well. Okay, we need to import the register. Yeah. Here we go. We're gonna give it the username equal the request, also the email, and finally the password. Something happened, so if error in new user, it's gonna raise an HTTP exception. Status code. gonna return the new user. Okay, finally we can add it to the main, so we can check it. Dot include router. It's not gonna be router. It's auth routes dot route. Okay. Yeah, not here. Sorry. There we go. Okay, I guess there's something wrong with user model. Okay, we don't need this. And it's optional. It's done. It's tested. Right? Let's test the the registration. Okay, we just need to edit this. Alright, here we go. Our user has been added successfully to the database. Here is the ID and the password is hashed. So the login is working. At the register, I'm sorry. Next time we're going to handle the login.